Good afternoon, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the CMMU ASEAN Sustainability Forum 2024. This event is held by our own PhD scholarship students granting from ACSD, and also there's a great support from the College of Management, Mahidol University, and the ASEAN Center for Sustainable Development Studies and Dialogues. So today we're going to have an interesting point of view from industry aspect and from the academic aspect from our students as well. Right. First of all, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Sooksan Kantabutra, representing from the Dean for the College of Management for the keynote speaking. ครับ อาจารย์ครับ ขอบคุณครับ
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the College of Management, I would like to welcome all of you to the first Asian Sustainability Forum 2024, and thank you for your interest in participating. As you know, the United Nations has continued to introduce the Millennium Development Goals and the Sustainable Development Goals for decades, but the world is still increasingly becoming less and less sustainable. You see, the bushfire continue everywhere, iceberg continue to melt, the earth is becoming warming every day. So even worse, research has indicated that the chief sustainability officers who are supposed to know best about how to improve the situation are not always effective in improving their own organizational sustainability performance. All this suggests that we do not have enough knowledge to deal with the prevailing sustainability issues. Ladies and gentlemen, these sustainability issues are wicked problems, meaning that they are not simple problems. They are interconnected, and also solving one problem leading to many other problems, and with no stopping rule. Bad news, right? So therefore, we need new knowledge. New knowledge needs to be created so that we can effectively and timely combat the sustainability challenges. The ASEAN Sustainability Forum is initiated and convened by our ACSD doctoral research fellows with an objective to translate their top quality research into real world impact, whether that be managerial implication or policy implication, or simply better understanding about the problems. So we hope you will be an active learner and also have an enjoyable learning afternoon with them today. Thank you.
Thank you ครับ อาจารย์ Sooksan, for your remarks นะครับ So next session we will start with the keynote speaking. I'd like to introduce you to Khun Krittawit, Krittayarungroj, CEO of the Akelada Hotel and Convention. He's also a PhD candidate in PhD in Sustainable Leadership. Today, Khun Chris will share with you for his own experience on applying sufficiency economy philosophy for corporate resilience, a case study in Thailand. Please welcome Khun Chris ครับ
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing team for the kind invitation. And it's my honor and humbling to stand in front of the individual who are committed to advancing the sustainability and also resilience for the better future for Thailand and also the region. Today, I would like to use the session as a sharing session to how we use and applying sufficiency economy philosophy by the late King Ramanai to use in the real practical world, especially on my particular family-owned hotel and also community-based tourism, which with that research, my research interest. Here, as I want to recap on the foundation of the sufficiency economic philosophy, it needs to have the two founding conditions that have the knowledge of the person who do it and also have morality or virtue, right? But then there are three factors that need to work in a line to their first one is a moderation, which you might think of the middle part in the Eastern notion. But when you think of the Western notion, it's actually optimization. The second condition, the second aspect will be regarding the reasonableness, which means that you need to think of the stakeholder, not only like shareholder, and also you need to think carefully at a holistic view, which are thinking about causality nexus, right? And the last one will be prudence or self-immunity. But actually, we translate into business world is business immunity, business plan continuity, or resilient. Which actually, when we think of resilient word, actually, most of the business practitioners think as a passive form. We just wait until the disaster coming, we recover and use it as a passive form. But if you look into this diagram, actually, resilient is a part of input parameter to use as the thinking, judgment, and decision making into making every decision. My family have been adopted this philosophy for the last 12 years to set up the hotel. Actually, my family have owned a hospital before, but since the Tom Yum Goong crisis, we need to spin off some business and also in order to maintain some employees. So that's why we set up the hotel, because we believe that the person who work in a hotel and a hospital are the same, but just change the customer to be sick person to be happy person. That's why we set up the small hotel just to accommodate, not to lay off the people. The hotel is located in Nang Rong district in Buriram province. So right now we have 20 employees and we have been adopted the philosophy so far, which I will explain later on. Sufficiency economic philosophy might not be only for Thai aspect, but actually have been recognized for international. I write up the case on how the hotel survived through the pandemic and also got the Silver Award from the World Tourism Award from London as well. And also the initiative that we done with community also in a top finalist in the Tourism Innovation Award from Spain as well. So which means that SEP from the late King Ramanai is not only Buddhist practitioner, it's not only for Thai people only. Translate to be economics, to be academic. So we can see that the leader is very important because the leader are the one who need to embed with the knowledge. What the knowledge means that you need to know what you are doing. You need to be good at it. Either you have the tacit knowledge or explicit knowledge. And also you can do exchange, collaboration to get the stakeholder outside to input your knowledge. But also the good leader need to have morality as well. And then when the leader introduce any initiative or strategy, that also equivalent to sustainable leadership in the Western world or honeybee model where you might familiar with. Our family actually started the project 10 years ago with, we used the empty land behind the hotel to do the organic farming and also use the late King Ramanai new theory of agriculture. That Thai people might misconcept that, hey, the SEP might only agricultural, but actually it's just one aspect of that. Actually, when you look in terms of business sense, right, the new agricultural theory of the king are diversified risk because he encouraged people to do the diversified crop. Because in the Thailand crop is seasonal. If you have diversified crop, you have income gradually every day. And also we have the flood or disasters coming. If you have more multiple production, you can sell to another different market. That's called diversified risk, right? But then if I work, here is a timeline that we can see that according to the king, everything is not happen only one night that can be happen. It takes time and it takes build confidence. My family as well. We start to build up the hotel in year 2012. And then in 3 years later, we just, yay, why not we plant vegetable? Because we need to serve the customer as a breakfast. Then that's why we start to plant salad vegetable. After we confident that, hey, we can grow something, we have the green hand, then we start to plant the tropical fruit like passion fruit, dragon fruit. And later on, after that, we get, because we don't have much knowledge, we get the connection from university and academic to learn how to plant the rice because all 100% of our own employee and the guests consume jasmine rice. And after that, for 3 years, we also certify as an organic rice from the Department of Rice in Thailand as well. And right now, since the year 2019, we all expand that knowledge to the community nearby to come as a learning center for free. As I mentioned earlier that the SAP is not only limited to agricultural. Here I can see that the philosophy embedded is equal to the Western world called honeybee. And when I test that with my management team, we can see that actually it's aligned with all the Western way of thinking, like long-term strategy, think of participatory, and also think of the stakeholder rather than just shareholder. Here, because the end goal is not the resilient just be the input parameter. I envision my company and my family-owned business hotel just to look at to the three triple bottom line. The first one, the socio-cultural. As you can see here that we do some CSR. We give the scholarship to every student every year for 101. Why 101? Because my family born from Roy-Ed. So that's why we have the gimmick as a 101 scholarship. Even scholarship is not that much, only 5,000 baht per one scholarship. But we just believe that in order you embed awareness of how people learn how to give, you need to know how to learn how to get as well. So the scholarship will be encourage the student to be good in academic and also be gratitude to the community nearby as well. During the COVID, as we have much more than we have, so that's why we use our own kitchen, the facility, also do the food, give out to the community, and also donate some bed and mattress to set up the field hospital. As 100% of our own employees are Buddhist, so we encourage the traditional here that every weekend, the first weekend of the month, we invite the monk to do alms offering. And then the guests and the employee also have the chance to do the merit making, just continue cultural preservation. And also 2 years ago, we also signed up with a vocational school in the area that will be accept the internship for 1 year and 6 months. And then after that, after they pass the assessment, they will be a full-time employee of us. In terms of social here, we just start the project by try to talk to the school here. Raj Prachanukeราะห์ R1 that under the King patronage, just only to accommodate the students who are underprivileged, like super poor family or sex abuse or sex juvenile worker or HIV/AIDS addicted. So we talk to the school, and then all the students get a trauma, and I ask them how the students get rid of the trauma in their heart. The school said that they provide a lot of extracurricular activity. For example, massage, making a coffee, plan the food. That's why I think, hey, why not our hotel be the kind of sponsorship on the somehow. So right now, 100% of catering service, like conventional, like coffee break, things like that, we purchase from the Prachanukeราะห์ school. And right now, the hotel are under renovation. So we commission the student here to conduct some artwork and install in the hotel as well. In terms of environmental, hotels are the ones who are the most polluted. As you can see here, we need to comply with many standards. We try to use avoid the single plastic. We use the glass bottle, and we try to install the solar panel. But because we are SME, so we cannot invest totally 100%. As you know, sufficiency economy, we do something by moderation, little bit by bit. Here, as you see behind the hotel, we have the organic farm. We kind of encourage every staff to do the farming with us, because at the spare time, they have their own rice field, they have their own land. So if they get the knowledge from the organic mixed crop from us, they can do at home, and then they can disseminate that knowledge as well. And we also use that particular products produced from the farm to serve as a breakfast farm to fork concept as well. During the pandemic, we also realized that the food waste is also one critical, and the cost cutting is very important. That's why we totally changed the way we serve the breakfast from 100% buffet to be 100% a la carte. But actually, the result is better because customers are feeling happier because they're more empowerment on the choice that they choose, rather than just walk down to the buffet line and don't know what to eat. So actually, we can gain satisfaction, and then in the marketing way, we can say that we avoid the customer to congested, more hygienic person, also a selling point as well. We tried to pilot during the last year as well. So we give the small tree to the guests when they check out. So the guests will have the better awareness of how the climate change is happening. So if the guests would like to get that small plant back home to plant on their own, you are very, very welcome. But if they live in a condominium, they don't have time, they have two options. Either give that small tree and plant by themselves at the allocated area that we plotted for them, or we ask the staff to plant it for them. now we talk about the resilience. Actually, the resilience is nothing new. It's not only the COVID, right? I mean, disruption, the way Airbnb is coming up, the hotel have been impacted, everything. Even a technological change also impact how we do things as well. So here we do things like we use the sustainable leadership practices on participatory, SEP concept to embed all the innovation that's happening here. During the COVID situation, I divided into 3 phases, like immediate phases that we need to either communicate with the staff whether we're going to shut down the hotel or not shut down the hotel. And after that, when we see something more like settled, now we need to think of rationalize some supply chain as well. So before we use the one supplier and use the supply nearby because we want to buy from the mom and pop in the area. But we realize that because of the COVID, we cannot rely on one vendor. That's why we need to divide it into few vendors. That's the first one that we had rational supply chain. The second one, we need to divide it not to big bulk, because if we big bulk, we need money to be invest in that particular item. So that's why we divide it into small lot. Now we'll give example on how we encourage the staff to participate in how we solve the COVID together. The first one, actually, the hotel business need to change from the single job function to be the multitasking. And also we need to change the way that we do the revenue during the COVID situation as well. Here you can see that during the COVID situation, we cannot get the speaker or the trainer to come in, so we use the Zoom technology. But then the staff also need to be trained from other single job. Need to understand the context of the hotel in the rural country. People apply the job because they want a job and money. They don't know whether they like it or not. And sometimes when they be with us for 10 years, we thought that they are good at it and they like it, but actually they don't like it. After that, we try to, because we cannot fancy or the one staff for one particular job. That's why we need to train the maid to know how to clean, to be the reception, to know how to clean the kitchen as well, or the multitasking. And actually the benefit that I realized that it's get is that satisfaction of our own employee are much more. They feel more empowered. They feel more that I can do capable something, and they love the company and have more accountability. Here we also modify some F&B because no guests coming into the hotel during the past 1 year. So that's why we need to produce something from our organic farm and kitchen facility to sell the things to the Bangkok people. So we start from chili paste. We understand that, Bangkok people need to cook, but they live in a condo. They don't have much knowledge on how to use the pig gang or chili paste. So we pack in a vacuum pack for 100 milligram for 2 or 3 serving only. But then after COVID, many wave, and then realize that, hey, they cannot cook, but sometimes they do some instant. That's why we introduce some pad Thai kit or pad mee kit, because we use our rice from the field and translate to be the noodle. And then we need to maximize some revenue somehow. If the people consume a meal only 3 times a day, that's why we introduce some fruit snack, like banana snack, pumpkin snack, or bakery, just to get the more frequency of the people who buy the product as well. Here we also need to live with community, because our hotel actually are located in the center. We need to help that community. Before the COVID, every item we will sell in the lobby, but then no customer. That's why we use our own. This is my mom, because we don't have much budget to afford some superstar talent fee. So my staff and my mom just go to the village nearby and just taking photo. That relationship just starts from taking photo and helping them send online. But after interaction for many months, we inject some knowledge on how to design, use the designer from Bangkok, my friend, just, what the color should be like that, what the design, what the price point. And now the relationship is getting stronger and stronger. During the COVID, I also experiment on the role of the hotel, not only the place to stay, but also the destination and also the tourist information. That's why we start to produce like infographic on how 3 days, 2 nights, 1 day, 2 nights, 1 day, on how the guests coming in, what to see, and get the income distribute to all the people in the area as well. So we work together with many villages on some folk and artisan. During the COVID, because of the thing that we are doing so well, so the TV program also invite that kind of experience to showcase on that as well. Now, my second part is that not only the small hotel, not only the family-owned who adopt the SEP. This is based on my particular research on my PhD project. We might have strong interest on community-based tourism, Community-based tourism is very important for Thailand. As you know that 30% of GDP will be account for tourism. And then we can see that the failure of the mass tourism and over-dependent of the mass tourism. That's why the CBT are very critical. But then we realize that the CBT in Thailand is just sometimes it's just mandate from the government. And then my interest is just to see how, what are the success factors on how they be survive and how to regenerate the S-curve, not falling maturity or decline, right? And that I select all the 6 village who are get award from Tourism Authority of Thailand, also DASTA, designated special area of Sustainable Tourism Department. So we select the 6 villages to come to particular qualitative study. And then we realize that actually there are 3 key factors. Leadership is very important, as you know. Community participation, accountability, ownership is also very important, and fair benefit sharing. The thing that I would like to highlight here is the leadership. People thought like, oh, SEP might be only the Buddhist concept, but actually the leader from Krabi, Thung Yipeng, or Trang province, actually he is Muslim. But actually when I talk to them, I immerse the theme of qualitative interview, actually they practice the SEP concept. So I would like to confirm you that actually SEP is not only the concept for Buddhism, but it's universal concept. Here, I also learned that actually, in order to community to grow and drive, they need to use their own existing endowment or capital called community capital, whether social capital, cohesion of how the living together, harmony, using the cultural capital, using the built capital, financial capital, political capital. But actually, I realized after conducting research that actually there are the reciprocal relationship happen. When you do the creative tourism or community-based tourism, it not only use the capital, but actually it's built capital as a spiral up. And after spiral up, the sustainability view also reciprocal lead back to the community. So which means that the community capital is gained more and more and expanding large. And the last one that I would like to put it here is that leadership is very important. I think it's our job to understand what is the good leadership. The good leadership here, according to the SCP, is participatory concept. It think of a long term. It also think of all the stakeholder, but need to have the knowledge to understand what is the right context for that entity. And then plus the competency, that's why it can lead to the outcome resilience that you might want to see. Also the self-immunity or self-reliance. That will be end of my presentation, and I hope that this experience sharing will open up some contributions to opening dialogue in the later session. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you, Khun Chris. The floor, is there any questions that you want to ask? You know what? At first, I thought that this Khun Chris presentation will be on purely on industry side, but it happened that he combined both on the industrial side and academic side. That's very impressive. Okay, if later you have any questions regarding to his presentation, you can take a note and leave it with our team, and we can manage it for you. On this occasion, I would like to invite Dr. Anthony Pramonrat, the Deputy Executive Director of the ASEAN Center for Sustainable Development and Studies and Dialogue to give a token of appreciation for Khun Chris. Please, Khap, Ajahn.